I do know that this is a movie that is absolutely not for everybody. Some people may find it disgusting, deplorable, depraved, deprived, and anything else that starts with dip. But for its specific target audience, which is the fans of the original movie, I'm happy to say that this is one remake that in horror that is not a piece of garbage. Yes, for the first time in probably at least a while, we actually have a good horror remake for once. Something like Friday the 13th, 2009. Something like a little bit of a controversial hot take, but this is one of my personal favorites. The Halloween 2007 unrated remake. And, oh, and of course, the Hammer remakes. How can we forget about them? Now, if you're someone that does hate this movie and think it's very deplorable and, just very, very gross, I can understand. But you have to put yourself in the mindset of the fact that this is a remake of a trauma movie that pretty much prided itself on being as, grotesque and foul as possible. But it also is a very fascinating look into, filmmaking and how to make your own movie and how it has continued to inspire filmmakers in some way. So, yeah, like everyone else, when I heard that there was a remake of this movie coming out, I was very, very, hesitant. Yes, it looked like it was hitting the right tone and everything from the trailer, but sometimes a good trailer doesn't always result in a good movie. Look forward to my Tron Ares review for that whole nonsense rant, but for now, let's talk about a good remake for once. Because after suffering through so much terrible Disney schlock, this is definitely very refreshing to see. And I do think it's better than the Dragons remake too, because it's painstakingly faithful to the original, it barely changes anything, and it's just as grotesque, lowbrow, foul, and enjoyably, delightfully gory as its predecessor. So, let's talk about it. Even though I haven't reviewed the original Toxic Avenger trilogy yet, but I promise you I will get to it someday. It just can't be right now because I have too much on my plate. So instead, let's just talk about the remake, and I'll talk about the original trilogy another time. What's up? What's happening? What's going on? Everybody, welcome back to Animation Station, your number station for anything and everything animation, including TV and movies, and especially horror films. I'm your local horror fan, Jackson Small, your very incredible spooky host, and welcome to my review of the remake of the Toxic Avenger. And like I said before, it's a remake that's not a piece of garbage. It's actually, dare I say, great. Dare I say, a highlight of the year. At least if you're part of its target audience. If you're not, then this movie's not going to be for you and it's going to make you puke your guts out. But if you are part of its target audience, if you love carnage candy, if you love watching gore, if you love watching just insane, crazy, zero explanation, batshit insanity, this movie's for you. And thankfully I was one of those people, because I'm one of the people that actually really likes the original Toxic Avenger, despite, the way it was sanitized in later sequels and then turned into a TV show and etc., etc. We can go on another conversation in another review all about that. But the original Toxic Avenger is still a damn good movie. At least for, again, target demographic. Not everyone's going to like Troma. Troma's not going to be for everybody. But for those that it is for, it's going to give you everything you want. And while this isn't made by Troma, it's made by people that are very passionate fans of Troma. Hell, I'm pretty sure Lloyd Kaufman even made a cameo in it himself, if I remember correctly. So, if even Lloyd Kaufman gives this his approval, you know that it's actually a really faithful, well-done new version of this classic story. So, I'm late to the party, but here's my written review for it anyway, and why I think it is worth your time if you're part of its target demographic. Enjoy. I know I'm late to the party on this one, as some fellow content creators, such as Cody Leach, got to see it a year earlier at a film festival, And my good friend Evan Pola Preview Review already released his very own well-detailed review of it a while back. But since this is a big release for the horror genre this year, I gotta say my piece about it too, so here's my review of it anyway. It's trash in the best ways possible, as it's not only a remake that is not a pile of sewage for once, but it is so undeniably faithful to the original and its source material that it should serve as a blueprint for how to do a remake correctly. Disney. In this current era of film. It simply knows what it is, it does exactly what it needs to do, it commits to its concept fully, the actors fully buy into it and have fun, and it doesn't try to modernize or sanitize anything whatsoever. It's still trashy, it's still gory, and it's still incredibly fucking funny. Like, I really cannot put it into words no matter what I say to tell you why this movie is so great. The pacing is light and fast, the kills and gore are spectacular. Yeah, a lot of it's CGI, but it's better CGI, and I can forgive it because of the movie's budget. Not to mention, it's not the worst CGI I've ever seen. I've seen far worse things. This is no Mortal Kombat Annihilation. It's simply okay. But it does have some practicals mixed in there. I mean, few, but still some. And it still looks really good. So I can give it a little bit of leeway. The casts have so much fun that it translates to the screen perfectly. Peter Dinklage is excellent despite having little screen time before he's replaced by a stunt double to do all the actual toxic Avenger stuff, but you still hear his voice. Kevin Bacon and Elijah Wood, yes, these two in a movie together, are delightful as the villains, because again, they buy into this weird, insane movie, and because of that, they have so much fun that it translates on screen very well. You can tell they had a blast making it, as did everyone else involved with this. The humor is lowbrow and crude, yet non-stop funny. Like, this is a textbook example of how to use lowbrow, low-hanging fruit humor, and actually do it in a way where it's not cringe and it actually does make you laugh. Because the tone is so unapologetically campy that you know it's just making fun of itself. The action is over the top, the shocking adult elements from the original are untouched and arguably even more jaw-dropping in some instances. Toxie's new design, while different, is really cool. I do like his new design. Yes, it's nothing like the original Toxie, but it's a good design. Like, I do like it. The one red eye, the exposed brain, the green skin, the way that they actually made his mop almost look like a wizard staff. Like, it's really cool. It's a cool design, and I'm not going to hate on it. Even though, again, the original Toxie is still a great design, too. The editing is fast and snappy, the directing is excellent, and finally the cinematography is excellent. Like, absolutely stellar cinematography, with so much color and personality oozing out of every single frame, quite literally. It won't be for everyone, but for trauma fans and those who especially love the original Toxic Avenger, this remake is a truly remarkable achievement that is more than worth your time. It's definitely a highlight in this absolutely superb year for the horror genre. Like, I know I've reviewed some stinkers, but man, this has been a damn good year for horror, and I'm glad that we actually have a great horror remake in this year. Which, I mean, it's rare, but when it's done right, it can be some of my favorites in the particular series that it's in. Like, I adore the Hammer remakes. I love Friday the 13th, 2009, and I do really like Halloween 2007, despite some of the very weird shit in the first half of the movie. So when a remake is done right, it can be really, really entertaining, and actually make you appreciate the original more in the process. However, when it's done so wrong, insert Disney joke here, it can be one of the worst experiences of your life and feel like your childhood's literally being destroyed in front of your very eyes by corporate pinheads that don't know what the fuck they're doing. This is a movie that does know what it's doing, and it has a damn good time doing it. And that's why, in my opinion, it deserves a high final verdict of a 9 out of 10. It's been a great year for horror and a great year for film in general, so I can't guarantee it'll be on the best list, but I bet you that's going to be at the very least an honorable mention, because it being a good remake alone especially in a decade where most remakes are absolute dog shit, which is why I'm not reviewing I Know What You Did Last Summer, because I fucking hate that movie. This is just a truly remarkable achievement, and a big round of applause to the cast, the crew, and everyone involved for making a remake that is different than the original, but it's still faithful and as fun as the original. Sure, it doesn't have as much practical effects as the original, and it does have CGI. But it's decent CGI. You can tell they actually put work into it, and it serves to show some incredible carnage candy that will make any gorehound happy. So, put simply, if you're a fan of the original Toxic Avenger or Trauma or anything of that nature, you definitely need to watch this remake. It is a very impressive, very faithful remake that's going to give you what you want. However, if Trauma's not for you, then don't watch this movie because it's not for you. But for Trauma fans and people that can stomach intense, insane, crazy gore, yeah, this is definitely a highlight of the year and one movie that you absolutely need to watch. Okay, that's all I've got. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this almost every single day. Feel free to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below on this remake, the Toxic Avenger franchise in general, Trauma, or just anything else you want to say. And join me next time for my final current horror movie review, because unfortunately I just don't have time to review Sinners right now, as much as I would love to. I just can't, but I can promise you I will try to find a way to talk about it in the best list. So, instead, I gotta talk about another movie, what people consider one of the best horror movies of the year, that I just don't get. It's a movie that's just not for me, and I know my next review is probably gonna piss off a lot of people, so just understand, it's a personal opinion. Just because I don't like something doesn't mean that you don't have to like it, okay? But I know I'm not alone on this feeling, because I've been seeing some mixed reviews of this movie in particular for a while. So, I'll see you guys next time for my confusing but very disappointing overall thoughts and review of Weapons.